Have you ever stepped out of the shower and suddenly felt a little lightheaded? Maybe your heart was racing faster than usual, or you got that strange chill running down your body even though the water was hot. You probably brushed it off, thinking it was nothing serious. But what if I told you that one small, everyday shower habit could silently be putting your brain and your health at risk, and in some cases, it could raise your chance of stroke almost overnight, especially if you're over 60? Now, I know that sounds shocking. After all, a shower is supposed to make you feel clean, refreshed, maybe even relaxed before bed. But here's the hard truth: as we get older, the little routines we've been doing all our lives don't always work the same way anymore. The body changes. The brain changes. And the way your heart and blood vessels respond to something as ordinary as shower water temperature can actually be the difference between feeling fine and facing a life-threatening emergency. And that's exactly why this matters. Because you might be sitting there thinking, it's just a shower. How dangerous can that be? But the reality is, what feels harmless, what feels normal, can quietly strain the brain and the heart in ways you'd never expect. And sadly, too many families only realize this after something goes wrong. That's why in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the surprising shower mistake that so many seniors overlook. You'll hear the science behind why it's risky, and I'll share some simple, safe changes you can start right away, so that your daily routine stays just that, safe, comforting, and healthy. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you, or someone you love, ever stepped out of a shower feeling dizzy, weak, or faint, even just for a few seconds? If so, I'd love to know. Comment the word "yes" down below, because I want to see just how many people have quietly experienced this without realizing what it could mean. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our community at Elderly Wisdom Guide. This is where we share practical health insights made with seniors and their families in mind, because a little knowledge today can truly protect a lot of health tomorrow. Let me paint you a picture. Mr. Harris. Every evening, like clockwork, he treats himself to a long, steaming hot shower. It's his way of relaxing, washing off the stress of the day. But one night, as he steps out, something happens. He feels the room spinning. His legs weaken beneath him. His heart is pounding as though it's racing to catch up. He nearly collapses right there on the bathroom floor. His family later says, "Oh, he was just tired. Maybe he skipped lunch. Nothing to worry about." But was it really that simple? Or was his body giving him a warning sign? Here's the truth: hot showers feel comforting, but inside your body, something very different is happening. When that steaming water hits your skin, your blood vessels expand. That expansion causes your blood pressure to drop. For a younger person, the body usually recovers quickly. But for seniors, especially those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or circulation problems, that sudden drop in pressure means less blood and less oxygen getting to the brain. And when the brain is deprived, even briefly, it can trigger dizziness, fainting, or in some cases, increase the risk of a stroke happening overnight. Now here's where many people go wrong. They think, a hot shower helps me relax. It eases my muscles. How could it possibly hurt me? And you're right, it does feel good. But the same heat that feels soothing can secretly strain an older heart and brain. What starts as a nightly comfort can slowly become a silent risk. So what can you do? You don't have to give up the warmth you love. Instead, keep the water at a comfortably warm temperature, not steaming hot. Aim for something that relaxes you without making the bathroom feel like a sauna. And here's another tip: keep your showers short. Around 10 minutes is enough to refresh your body without overwhelming it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about giving up comfort, it's about adjusting comfort to protect your health. And while temperature plays a big role, it's not the only factor that matters. Now let's talk about something many people don't think twice about: the timing of your shower. Picture Mrs. Lewis, a sweet woman in her 70s. She has a nightly routine she's kept for years. Before bed, she takes a long, hot shower, convinced it helps her relax and sleep better. But here's what really happens. By morning, she wakes up groggy, sometimes a little off balance, her blood pressure swinging up and down without her realizing it. What she doesn't know is that her late-night shower is quietly putting her brain and her heart under more stress than she imagines. Here's the science behind it. When you shower late at night, especially if the water is hot, your body reacts in ways that can be dangerous. That heat causes sudden shifts in your blood pressure. It can spike too high or drop too low while you're asleep. And the brain, which depends on steady blood flow, feels that strain the most. The scary part is this: strokes most often occur in the early morning hours, when your body is naturally going through changes in blood pressure. So if you combine that natural risk with the added stress of a late-night shower, you're quietly stacking the odds against your health. But here's the catch: most people believe the exact opposite. They think, a hot shower before bed calms me down. It helps me drift off to sleep. And yes, it might make you feel drowsy in the moment. But what's really happening is your body's natural sleep rhythm is being disrupted. Instead of settling into deep, restorative rest, your heart and blood vessels are working overtime trying to stabilize. That's why so many seniors wake up the next day feeling drained instead of refreshed. So, what's the safer choice? Try shifting your shower to the late afternoon or early evening. Around that time, your body naturally starts cooling down and preparing for rest. A warm, not hot, shower during that window actually works with your body's rhythm instead of against it. It relaxes you, it improves sleep quality, and it gives your system enough time to settle before you climb into bed. Making this one simple adjustment can lower stress on your brain and heart dramatically. Because at the end of the day, your nightly routine should protect your health, not quietly put it at risk. And while timing matters, there's another hidden factor that's just as important. Now let's move to another hidden risk: sudden temperature swings. Picture this: it's a cold winter morning. An elderly person steps into a steaming hot shower. For 10 minutes, the water feels like pure comfort, warming their skin and muscles. But then, the shower ends, and they step out into a chilly bathroom where the air feels icy against their damp skin. That rapid shift from extreme heat to sudden cold? The body isn't always ready for it. Here's what actually happens inside. When your skin feels intense heat, your blood vessels expand. When you step into cold air, they snap back and constrict almost instantly. For a younger, stronger body, this adjustment might just be a shock that passes quickly. But for seniors, especially those with high blood pressure, heart disease, or fragile circulation, those rapid contractions and expansions put real stress on the brain and the heart. The constant squeeze and release can encourage blood clot formation or increase the risk of a stroke in the hours that follow. Now, here's the misconception. Some people actually believe these contrast changes are healthy. They say, hot to cold boosts circulation. It makes the immune system stronger. And while that may have some truth for younger, athletic bodies, the reality for seniors is often very different. What younger people experience as stimulation, older bodies may experience as strain. What feels invigorating at 30 can be overwhelming at 70. So what can you do? The solution is simpler than most people think. Keep your bathroom warm, especially in the colder months. Use a small space heater if you need to, but make sure it's safe and kept away from water. Place non-slip mats on the floor so you don't rush when stepping out, and avoid exposing your body to those extreme swings in water temperature. A steady, moderate temperature is far safer for an aging heart and brain. It's these little adjustments, things that take only a few minutes, that can make the difference between an ordinary shower and a dangerous episode. And while temperature swings are risky, there's another mistake many seniors make. It's not just how they bathe, it's what they do immediately after stepping out of the shower. Now picture this: Mr. Johnson has just finished his shower. The steam is fading from the room, the mirror is fogged up, and he bends down quickly to grab a towel from the floor. Without thinking, he straightens up in one sudden motion. Within seconds, the world begins to spin. His vision blurs, his balance slips, and he has to steady himself against the wall to keep from falling. At first, it seems like a harmless dizzy spell. But in reality, his body was giving him a warning that shouldn't be ignored. Here's what's really happening inside. For seniors, standing up too quickly, especially after a hot or warm shower, can cause something called orthostatic hypotension. That's a fancy term for when your blood pressure drops suddenly as you change position. Your heart and blood vessels can't adjust fast enough to push blood back up to the brain. The result? Dizziness, fainting, or in some cases, tiny strokes that may not be obvious right away but can build into something far more dangerous over time. Now, this is where so many families make a mistake. They see their loved one get a little dizzy and say, "Oh, that's just old age." It happens. But dizziness isn't just a sign of getting older. It's your body's way of waving a red flag, warning you that the brain isn't getting enough blood in that moment. And ignoring that warning can have consequences that are far more serious than just a stumble in the bathroom. The good news? There are safe, simple ways to prevent it. Instead of rushing to stand, try sitting on a sturdy shower chair or bench for a moment before drying off. Take your time. Let your body adjust. When you do stand, do it slowly and deliberately, giving your circulation a chance to catch up. Even small steps, like keeping a handrail or grab bar nearby, can turn a risky moment into a safe one. Because remember, it's not weakness to move carefully. It's wisdom. Protecting your balance and your brain is far more important than saving a few seconds. And now, let's turn to one last subtle habit, something directly tied to stroke risk, yet something many seniors don't even recognize as dangerous until it's too late. Let me share one last story, and it's one that might feel all too familiar. Miss Carter, a lively woman in her late 70s, loved her morning showers. She would often mention afterward that her arms felt a little tingly, or that her vision seemed blurry for a few moments. She'd laugh it off, saying, "Oh, I'm just getting old. It's nothing." Weeks later, Miss Carter suffered a full stroke. Suddenly, the warning signs that she had dismissed didn't seem so small anymore. They were red flags waving right in front of her the entire time. Here's what most people don't realize. Symptoms like dizziness, tingling, blurred vision, or sudden weakness after a shower are not random. They're not just quirks of aging, and they're certainly not something to brush aside. These are signals that the brain is not getting enough blood or oxygen in those critical moments. And when the brain struggles, even briefly, it increases the risk of something far more serious developing. A stroke rarely appears out of nowhere. More often than not, the body whispers first before it shouts. But here's where many families and seniors go wrong. They chalk it up to being tired, to not eating enough that day, or to just being part of getting older. That mindset can be dangerous. Because what feels like a minor inconvenience, like tingling in the hands, dizziness that passes in a minute, or vision that blurs and clears, can actually be the brain's way of begging for attention. The truth is, your body speaks to you long before a crisis arrives. And when it comes to stroke risk, every little warning is precious. Ignoring those signs may cost you independence, mobility, or even life itself. So what should you do? The answer is simple but powerful. If you, or a loved one, notice recurring dizziness after showers, unexplained weakness, tingling in the arms or legs, or blurred vision that comes and goes, don't wait. Talk to a doctor immediately. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're early warnings, and catching them could save years of health and independence. And remember, this isn't about making you fearful. It's about giving you the tools to stay safe. A quick checkup, an honest conversation with your doctor, or even a simple adjustment in routine can make all the difference. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about bathing, it's about protecting precious years of health, about guarding your independence, and about making sure every moment you have with your loved ones is lived fully and without regret. Watching a loved one grow weaker, or seeing them face sudden health scares during something as ordinary as a shower, can feel overwhelming. It can stir fear, worry, and even helplessness. Families may begin to wonder if every shower carries hidden danger, and seniors themselves may quietly feel more fragile than they admit. But here's the truth: understanding these risks doesn't have to create fear. In fact, knowledge transforms fear into action. When you know the risks, you no longer feel powerless. You suddenly hold the keys to prevention, to safety, and to peace of mind. And that is where real strength lies. Think about it: every small change you make today creates ripple effects tomorrow. Adjusting the water temperature, shifting showers earlier in the evening, keeping the bathroom warm, or simply sitting down before drying off, these may sound like small details, but they are powerful shields against stroke and fainting risks. And even more important, they send a message that life, health, and independence are worth protecting. So take a moment, today. Talk openly with your loved ones about how they feel after showers. Ask if they've noticed dizziness, weakness, or tingling. These conversations, though simple, could be life-saving. And when you make those adjustments, whether it's placing a non-slip mat, setting up a shower chair, or simply changing timing, you're not just creating safety, you're creating peace of mind. Because these small steps aren't just routines. They are investments in extra years of health. They are promises of more family dinners, more laughter, more holidays, and more moments that matter. And for seniors, they are the foundation for living not just longer, but stronger, steadier, and safer. Let's take a moment to recap. Today, we uncovered 5 hidden shower risks for seniors: water that's too hot, showering late at night, sudden temperature swings, standing up too quickly, and ignoring warning symptoms like dizziness or blurred vision. Each of these, though often overlooked, has a direct link to stroke risk. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these surprised you the most? Have you, or a loved one, ever felt lightheaded after bathing? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experiences can help others who may be quietly struggling. And if this video opened your eyes or gave you a tool to protect someone you love, I invite you to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Here, we share insights, tips, and wisdom that make aging safer, healthier, and more meaningful, for seniors and for the families who love them. Thank you for being here, for caring enough to listen, and for taking steps toward a safer tomorrow. Until next time, stay safe, stay wise, and remember, you have the power to turn ordinary routines into moments of strength and protection. I'll see you in the next video.